So has there ever been a scenario where the initial lender, that partner funds, and the person's moved in, the business owner is moved in, and then you present everything to the SBA and then there's a question mark?
It doesn't happen very often, but it is our worst nightmare, number one, because we will do everything to protect our primary lender in the deal. They are our bread and butter. Without them, there is no us. I think that's a US Bank commercial. Anyway, yeah. And so we have instances, and this is kind of my job in the process as well. When one of our borrowers gets their initial approval, it's like a residential mortgage loan. Don't go out and start spending a bunch of money, right? Don't do anything. Hold tight until we can get you closed with the SBA.
You're like, money.
Yeah, right. We have had scenarios where borrowers have, they've had criminal charges brought against them, which brings an adverse action. We've had issues with their financing, something significantly degrading in their finances. Maybe a lawsuit ensued after they got approval, and now they're in the building. And in that 90-day time frame that we are waiting to close, because we do kind of we have to, for all intents and purposes, no other way to put it, we kind of get in line with the SBA to get them closed. Things happen.
Yes.
People go out and spend a bunch of money. People will call me and they'll go, okay, now that I've got approval, can I go buy that side-by-side? I'm like, please don't go spend $40,000 on a side-by-side right now. I know it's a necessity, but could you do it after you're closed, right? And so they'll be like, okay, because again, because this is such a program that is unique, a lot of people at first are like, okay, I've got all my approvals, I'm good to go. And I'm like, there will be one more approval with the SBA to get you closed. Please just sit on your hands. Don't do anything until we get that done, because it's, we don't want to have a problem. But I will, final answer to your question, it has happened. And what happens in that situation? Now the bank is sitting there with a 90% loan to value. That is not their happy place.
No.
And so, right. So they're like, so what they will do is oftentimes if they're able to do so, they will, and again, because it doesn't happen that often, that's when they'll start asking for more collateral. We're going to need to collateralize your home. We're going to need this from you. We want your cash. They have to do anything to protect their interest.
Yeah.
So yes,
we
try. Yes. And sometimes, in the environmental aspect that you talked about, Lisa Marie, we have had some doozies on environmental, and that's not just to the state of Nevada. That's going to be nationally. Environmental is a big concern for every lender, regardless, SBA or otherwise. Everybody wants a clean property. Let's put it that way.
I guess I would put it in the terms that they tread lightly on the environmental side, really err on the side of conservative. Yes. As far as phase 1, phase 2, or gosh forbid, you have to go even beyond that. And I love your example of the side by side. It's so funny, like, oh, I just have to have that now. No, you need to wait, and you're going to have your party and your happy dance in 90 days. Because I think for the business owner, when they get the keys, like, they're like, we're done. We're ready to go. We're excited, moving forward. And yet there's still this other, like you said, approval happy on the SBA loans. There's still all this other stuff that has to happen. And I think, I guess if I put myself in the business owner's shoes, it would be maybe challenging sometimes for people to be like, I need to wait.
Yes. It's very challenging because, again, and we do a lot of projects in rural Nevada also. And some of those projects are quite small in terms of the magnitude of the larger projects that we can do. But for that rural business owner, it's everything. They might need to purchase some heavy duty medical equipment or different things that they have to take care of. It always disheartens me when I'm like, your finances they're tight. I am so sorry, but I don't want any problems with the SBA, because we are really their advocate. Right. But they have to be sure to protect us as well. It's like a mutual reciprocity. Like, you do your part, we'll do our part and eventually we'll get you over that line. But it's not always easy for small business parts out in the, because our office here does loans from the Reno, Sparks, Carson City area, all of Carson Valley, Minden, Gardnerville, Dayton, all the way to Wells, Nevada, and to Ely. That is my territory, and then the northern office of Nevada State Development Corporation. Then our southern office covers the whole southern side of the state.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You have a big territory, and Nevada we're 90% rural. So for those of you who don't know, we have Reno, and we have in the north and close to Tahoe, and then Vegas down in the south, closer to LA, Arizona. And people always think when they hear that I live in Reno, they're like, oh yeah, I was just in Las Vegas. I'm like, that's 8 hours away through the desert,
I know.
But I consider those to be like one market that's split into two, because I do business all over the state as well.